Let me ask you a question. What happens when you balance your finances, career, and your well-being? There's no limit to what you can achieve. I'm Jalen Vickery, your host and guide on how to build wealth with wellness. Living in a world of information overload and misleading highlight reels, Finance, Fitness, Finesse is a podcast to help you realize you're not woke, you're broke, and how to change that in your favor. If you're looking to elevate your wealth, well-being, and discover the power of balance, tune in to learn why money matters, but wellness counts. Hey Finessers! I feel like saying good morning because I'm here recording at 6 a.m. to just try and get some quiet space in my apartment. I could just say, good day, if that's still a saying, depending on whatever time you're listening to this. But regardless, I hope you find some peace and quiet in your day to do the things you love doing that are for you. And for me, it's this podcast. For a long time, I've been trying to figure out how to remember the 8 dimensions of wellness. Of course, I do remember them, but I've noticed in some recent interviews I do, not only because I'm working on going outside my comfort zone with public speaking and improving at that, but being in different environments I'm not used to can cause a little bit of brain fog, as I'm sure we've all experienced. So I don't remember the 8 dimensions of wellness as smooth as I should if I really want to work to become a dimensional wealth expert one day. And so I was sitting in the library brainstorming, how can I remember this? And I came up with this acronym that I'm super excited to share with you guys. But before we get started, your input means everything. I mean, you guys are my community, and your feedback is key in making this show better and useful for everyone. So if you're vibing with the content or have ideas for what you want to hear next, please leave a quick review at the top or bottom of the page. It's a great way for us to grow our finesser and lifelong learner community together. All right, let's get into it. Personal development, growth, building wealth, building an empire. It's daunting. There's a lot of information, a lot of adjustments that need to be made and maintained over time. There's a lot of adaptability involved. And so I'm presenting to you guys something I'm going to implement into my life and my business and how I work with my clients. And that's building wealth 5 reps at a time. 5 reps stands for the 8 dimensions of wellness that we're going to work to remember together. The acronym 5 reps encompasses the 8 dimensions of wellness. F, financial. I, intellectual. V, vocational. E, environmental. R, relational, E, emotional, P, physical, and S for spiritual. As we build wealth 5 reps at a time, we could understand how they flow into each other, with finance being at the top because it truly touches everything, but each dimension is interconnected. Do you ever notice how certain numbers just keep showing up and start having more meaning? I mean, we know about the different angel numbers. Some people, it's Bible verses. For me, it was Jeremiah 29:11 that really was there for me at a random time in my life. But different numbers can come up for us at different times when we need it. And for me lately, it's been number 5. I recently found out that the number 5 represents freedom, curiosity, and change. And honestly, those are the things I really need to embrace right now in my life. It's something that I want to embrace long term, but having that number during a time where I am currently under a lot of stress with finishing up my degree, building a business, balancing my relationships, my mental health, my physical health, everything within the 5 reps mentality as I'm trying to build wealth with wellness. As a therapist, I need to ground myself too. And seeing the number 5 and finding out that it represents change, along with that freedom and curiosity that I work with every day, it's really validating. It's really reassuring of everything that I'm working towards and that I know our community is working towards. I wasn't sure if I was going to add this part in, but, I may keep it. We'll see if it makes it out of the editing room. If you know me, I've told you that I believe tattoos are the scars you don't see. At least that's what most of the tattoos I have represent. We bump our knee, we get a scar, you see it. You get surgery, you get a scar, you see the pain that it could have caused. But what about the mental pain we face? What about the scars and the trauma and the intense experiences we go through that stick with us but may not stick with others? And it's not that tattoos are there to show people what you've been through, but for me, the tattoos on my body are the scars that I don't see, but they also serve as reminders of what I've accomplished, what I've made it through, and why I'm not going back there. I'm not going to get into the details of what I've been going through in my life, but my relational wealth has been attacked. It's been depleted, and I'm really working to build it back up, and that starts with my relationship with myself. And so with the number 5, with how much it's been present in my life, and what it means to me, number 5 might be a scar that we don't see. It's a representation of where I'm going, what I've been through, and why I do what I do. So why the acronym FIVEREPS? Well, if you're a movement junkie like me, you may count reps in 5. Another way that I work to get myself going if I'm super unmotivated and just need momentum is starting a timer for 5 minutes and deciding I'm just going to try this task for 5 minutes. And 9.5 times out of 10, I end up sticking with it. And so I encourage you guys, because this is a practice that I'm working on, and it's part of the programming for my business. And it's writing down 5 things a week that feed into each dimension. What are 5 things I'm going to do to build my dimensional wealth in each dimension of wellness? For example, physical. I'm going to do 5 workouts this week, whatever that might mean for you. They don't all have to look the same, but it could be 5 workouts. Maybe you go for 5 walks. I don't know. Think of it like this. 5 is the energy you need to break out of your usual routine and be open to something new. It can be that reminder to mix things up when life feels stuck. It can create options. We feel stuck when we have no options, but if you learn to brainstorm them in increments of 5 or less, but right now our number's 5 in this episode, we're focusing on adapting and evolving with momentum rather than waiting for motivation. And instead of trying to change everything at once, can we please agree, people, that motivation is a hit or miss? It comes and goes. I'm an early riser, I'm a morning person, but, recording on October 2nd here, the days are getting way too short. And I love spooky season, but I'm like, it's dark when I wake up, it's getting dark way earlier, I'm losing daylight. I'm someone who loves the morning and I'm not always motivated. It comes and goes. But momentum, that's where we want to be. There are so many different ways people try to gain momentum, and it's important to reflect on that because not any one person is the same on what can get them going. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to is the Mel Robbins podcast, and she frequently presents the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule. It's basically about counting down and springing yourself into action. For example, being in bed, you don't want to get up, you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get out of bed. You go to the bathroom, splash some water on your face. Now, we could just say, be laying in bed, and I'm not going to lie, I've been there before when I first started trying the rule a while back, where you're laying in bed, you wake up, you don't want to get up, and you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This. Yeah, and then you keep laying in bed. But the thing is, we do that to ourselves in so many other areas of our life. And while that rule isn't something I use regularly, the psychological effect that happens when you continue to do the opposite of what you want to enhance your life and reach your goals, it's going to start eating at you. And hopefully you can start to work within yourself that you're not going to allow yourself to torture and bully yourself for actions that you are struggling to move forward with. So that's why, what's the momentum mindset? The 5 reps mentality? Can I lift the covers off of me? Can I start walking to the bathroom? Maybe what are 5 actions you can do to start working to get out of bed? The number 5 is powerful. Another example is doom scrolling. Granted, social media is wonderful because it can keep us connected, get us access to information faster than what we used to be able to. But as I've experienced and worked with some of my clients on at the therapy clinic I work at, it's also a form of escapism, and as one of my clients explains it, brain rot, to just escape from the routines that we don't really want to be in, to escape from the tasks that we really want to do for ourselves but may seem daunting. Typically, I'll start going to my phone when I'm buried in my inbox, which is a never-ending abyss of emails that just keep coming in, ones I have to answer, projects I'm putting together, yada, yada, yada. And I just don't want to focus on it. So I either find myself like throwing my phone like across the room because I keep trying to grab it. Or if I'm really noticing I'm unfocused, I'm like, okay, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes and I'm going to really try to focus on this. Or maybe I'm going to set a timer, go for a brief walk around my building, sit and look out the window and just breathe for 5 minutes. I go back to my tasks, set another timer for 5 minutes, and then I can add 10, 20, 30. Before I know it, I'm cruising. That's why the momentum mentality for 5 reps is so effective. Even if it's something small, it can help us get going, build momentum, which is way more reliable than waiting to feel motivated or having the disciplined willpower to just do what we need to do as soon as we say we're going to do it. That's not realistic of the human experience. Break it down into 5 easy, actionable steps, and you may find yourself not feeling so overwhelmed. So let's get a little bit more into what the number 5 represents. It's been pretty cool from some of the research I've done, again, from finding out. It's been pretty cool some of the research I've found about how in numerology, 5 stands for freedom, adaptability, and staying open to new experiences. If you find connection to the number 5, you're probably more natural at figuring things out when plans change. And honestly, we all need to be very adaptable these days so we don't end up drowning. I struggle with it sometimes too. When things change, they can throw off our way of operating, whether it's in our environment, whether it's in the way we eat, whether it's at work. There's something so freeing to being able to say, F it, bring this on, I will handle it. And then there's the math side. 5 is a prime number. It's only divisible by itself and 1, which is kind of how we all need to stand strong on our own sometimes. The only force capable of dividing you is your own self-talk. External forces yield no power unless you enable it. There's also what makes up the senses of our human experience, the number 5. Sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. You may not pay much attention to it, but think about how your life would change if your 5 senses were incomplete. The dimensions of wellness, our dimensional wealth, are connected just like our senses connect us to the world. If one thing's off, it throws everything else out of balance. Pay attention to yourself. See where you're off balance. Press pause, make adjustments. I'm doing that right now in my relational wealth. I got 2 more things for you guys regarding the number 5. One that I found out is that people connected to the number 5 don't love always being stuck in repetitive routines. They want the freedom to do their own thing, make their own decisions. Sound familiar? If you're feeling trapped in your own version of Groundhog Day, embracing the power of 5 reps can help you redefine your lifestyle and mix it up a little bit. As you connect to the number 5, you can become quicker to solve problems and adapt. And to close it out, guys, stay curious about what your capabilities are. Stay curious about yourself. As you explore yourself and elevate your experiences, we can work together to build wealth 5 reps at a time. That's all for today's episode of Remembering the Dimensions. Don't forget what 5 reps stands for: financial, intellectual, vocational, environmental, relational, emotional, physical, and spiritual. I'm here with you guys finessing every day. It's not always easy. I hope I can serve as a reminder that small steps lead to big changes with the momentum mindset. If anyone ever wants help breaking down the 5 things they can do for themselves, either in a day or a week, my contact information is in the show notes. I would love to work with you. And the last thing, let me ask you this. What's one thing you're going to try today for just 5 minutes? Let me know with a survey in the show notes or drop a comment to get a feature. I'm always down to hear what's working for you. If you enjoyed this episode, which I hope you did, help me learn with you and be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps our lifelong learner community grow, and it's much appreciated so I can keep catering the show to our needs. Stay tuned for more episodes where we continue to build your wealth with wellness. I'm JaeVic, and please don't act woke and be broke. Until then, stay savvy, and if you don't know, now you know. Disclaimer, this podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial or mental health advice. Always seek professional guidance tailored to your personal needs.